Hello, my name is Matthew Ryan. I'm with the Spring Creek campus at Collin College in Plano, Texas, and I'll be reading a passage from chapter 31 of Huckleberry Finn, the most widely banned book, one of the most widely banned books. If it were banned, I feel it would be a terrible loss to the academic community. It made me shiver, and I about made up my mind to pray and see if I couldn't try to quit being the kind of boy I was and be better. So I kneeled down, but the words wouldn't come. Why wouldn't they? It weren't no use to try and hide from him, nor from me neither. I knowed very well why they wouldn't come. It was because my heart weren't right. It was because I weren't square. It was because I was playing double. I was letting on to give up sin, but away inside of me I was holding on to the biggest one of all. I was trying to make my mouth say I would do the right thing and the clean thing and go and write to that inn's owner and tell where he was, but deep down in me I knowed it was a lie, and he knowed it. You can't pray a lie, I found that out. So I was full of trouble, full as I could be, and didn't know what to do. At last I had an idea, and I says, I'll go and write the letter, and then see if I can pray. Why, it was astonishing the way I felt as light as a feather right straight off, and all my troubles all gone. So I got a piece of paper and a pencil, all glad and excited, and I sat down and wrote, Miss Watson, your runaway in, Jim, is down here 2 miles below Pikesville, and Mr. Phelps has got him, and he will give him up for the reward if you send. Huck Finn. I felt good and all washed clean of sin for the first time I had ever felt so in my life, and I knowed I could pray now, but I didn't do it straight off, but laid the paper down and sat there thinking how good it was all this happened so, and how near I come to being lost and going to hell, and went on thinking. And got to thinking over our trip down the river, and I see Jim before me all the time, in the day and in the nighttime. Sometimes moonlight, sometimes storms, and we are floating along, talking and singing and laughing. But somehow I couldn't seem to strike up no places to harden me against him, but only the other kind. I'd see him standing my watch on top of his instead of calling me so I could go on sleeping, and see him how glad he was when I come back out of the fog. And when I come to him again in the swamp, up where the feud was, and such like times, and would always call me honey and pet me and do everything he could think of for me, how good he was. And at last I struck the time I saved him by telling the men we had smallpox aboard, and he was so grateful, and I said I was the only best friend old Jim ever had in the world, and the only one he's got now. And then it happened. Then I happened to look around and see the paper. It was a close place. I took it up and held it in my hand. I was a-trembling because I got to decide forever betwixt 2 things, and I knowed it. I studied a minute, sort of holding my breath, and then says to myself, all right then, I'll go to hell, and tore it up.